Pisces. My name is Audrey Alison. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me for your June 2015 forecast for the month. And thank you for subscribing and sharing these posts, these videos. I appreciate the support tremendously. June is here, my favorite month out of all 12 months. It's a beautiful astrological month. It's beginning to get amazing in June. So let's start the month with our full moon on June 2nd, and this is at 11 degrees of Sagittarius. So there is a culmination and awareness in the 10th house sector of career, of the highest point on the astrological chart is the 10th house next to the midheaven. This is your purpose, your retirement, your goal, your career, your how people are seeing you, your status, the name, the title of you. This full moon could bring an ending to a project in the career sector. This could bring a retirement for those of you who have definitely worked hard enough and you've earned that. Or, some people might up and change paths around the time of a full moon in the 10th on the 2nd of June. It depends on your natal chart specifically. So these are solar scopes. It's really important to watch your rising sign, as the ascendant, the rising sign, is so particular to the natal positioning. If you look at your astrological wheel at the moment of your birth and you think of the 9 o'clock positioning on a clock, that 9 o'clock, that 9 is the indicator of where your ascendant begins on your astrological chart. And then you'd follow accordingly. All 12 little sections is a piece of pie, are considered the houses, the sectors. So look specifically as to where 11 degrees of Sagittarius is on your natal chart. But for your solar scope, this will affect the 10th house of career. And they both have energy. They both apply. So this will bring an awareness, too, for those of you who are not leaving the career. Something will be seen or illuminated in this sector that is necessary at the top of the month in order for you to progress in the position. On the 5th of June, this is fabulous news. Venus will enter Leo for a very long, rare stay until October 8th. But when she enters Leo, she's going to be conjunct Jupiter. I'm so excited I could barely speak about it. Mercury is retrograde still until the 11th of June, ruling the communications. However, Venus conjunct Jupiter is a magical aspect in astrology, and this is your 6th house of health and daily work and routine and schedule. So for those of you Pisceans who haven't been feeling so well, healing is on its way. Repair, recuperation. Venus is love and money. There's money for the health, money for new areas of health, meditation, acupuncture, maybe things that your health coverage doesn't normally cover that you'd like to attempt in order to gain a better sense of health. This money can come in through that in the 6th house. It's also the work, the scheduling of the hours within the structure of your day. And Venus conjunct Jupiter is expansion. There's freedom. Jupiter is very optimistic and gives you faith in this sector. So also where you hold your mind, that's where the energy flows. So if you've been ill and it's really hard to think positively because, when you're sick, that rules everything. It takes over. But with Jupiter in the 6th, you have the belief and the faith that you can feel better, which then implies the feeling better. It's kind of a chain reaction because the mind is that powerful. It's hard to keep that always right here to know that, but that's actually how we create our lives. You're making your own movie, so make it a good one. Jupiter's going to help you, and so is Venus. It's a magnificent aspect through October 8th. But now Venus will retrograde when she's in Leo on July 25th through September 6th. She'll go direct again at 14 degrees of Leo, still remaining in the 6th house until the 8th of October. So this is spectacular for health. It's spectacular for the daily grind and your routine. Something's opening up here. You might actually work less and have more hour. I'm sorry, what I'm trying to say is, or what someone else is trying to say through me is, you could receive more money and work less hours. There's expansion into the structure of your day and freedom. So that could be beautiful. That could apply to some of you, obviously not the thousands and millions of you, but you should get a reading with me if you want to get down to the specifics of your natal chart. Now, like I said, Mercury is retrograde, but on the 11th of June, Mercury goes direct at 4 degrees of Gemini, where he's been this whole retrograde, and he will remain in Gemini through July 8th in this 4th house of home. A lot of work happening in the home, communications, details, information, analyzation going on in the house, in the home environment, or with the mother, the 4th house of the mother, the maternal sector in the tarot, or in astrology, and your environment, or perhaps where you come from, where you were born, your roots, your foundation. Maybe you're hearing from people from that area of your life that you grew up in. With the retrograde, we tend to hear from the past at that time. On the 14th, Saturn will retrograde, and Saturn is currently in Sagittarius at 1 degree today as I record these, but he will retrograde to 28 degrees of Scorpio. So really look at your chart. Where do you hold that 28 degree mark? Because Saturn's going back here and going, listen, this is what I want you to learn. This is the specific lesson in this house. Now, your solar house, it would be the 9th house of school and study and foreign travel, belief system, your entire belief system, your religion, your philosophy. What do you believe in? Saturn is wanting you to know, listen, we want you learning what works for you, and what does not work, you need to release. And this slight little, review is that last 2 degrees of Scorpio. And that's real important to look at your natal charts, because this is the solar scope for you. Might be a little bit of restriction and control in that area on the 14th through the end of the month, but it can't beat the energy that's happening with the fire trine that I'll get into on the summer solstice. Okay, so we have our new moon on the 16th of June, the new moon 25 degrees of Gemini in your 4th house. So get this, all of that work and repair going on in the 4th house of home while Mercury has been direct. Maybe people have had to come back a few times to do something over and over again. Repairs didn't go right the first time. They had to come back once, twice, 3 times a lady. Now the new moon is in this 4th house. So now how do you want to move forward? Mercury is direct at this time. He also cleared his shadow by this time. So you're smooth sailing in the 4th house of home. Set your intentions here, your environment. Pisces, you're spending summer at home, and this is a beautiful new moon for those of you looking for new property or looking to appreciate the property you have that you've done some work on. Fabulous. On June 21st, the longest day of the year, the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, the winter solstice in the southern hemisphere, and my birthday, the sun enters Cancer. Now, you love this because this is a sister water sign for you, and this ignites your 5th house of creativity and passion and true love. But it also represents children and fun, leisure, the things that everybody wants to do in the summertime. Relax, sports, gambling. The sun in Cancer is a beautiful trine for you, Pisces. And it's trining Neptune and Chiron in your 1st house, who will retrograde this month. Just enough for us to see very clearly as Neptune removes our rose-colored glasses and we get to see what our reality is for a minute. And Chiron, the healing asteroid, in your 1st house, wanting you to review and heal. What doesn't work for you? What is working for you? Now on June 21st, the longest day of light in the year, there is a magical energy happening with Jupiter, who's stationed in Leo at 20 degrees. And he's been there since last July 11th, or I believe July 17th. But he's going to trine Uranus, who's stationed in Aries at an exact 20 degrees. And these fire trine energies, it's a very harmonious aspect in astrology. It strengthens the abilities of these planets naturally and makes the energy very smooth in the two sectors that they reside. And this is in your second house of finance, where you hold Uranus and Aries, and your sixth house of work and daily health and routine, where all of the energy is with Venus conjunct Leo. So actually, when this exact fire trine happens between Jupiter and Uranus, Jupiter will be conjunct Venus at the same time. This is a magnificent day. I want you to circle it on the calendar, 6/21, baby, that's what's up. It's going to be a really, really special day. And money, the second house, finance, sixth house, health, money for the health, budget for, or increase and budget, and new finance from the job that you're doing. Spectacular energy, really. It's what magic is. It's what the magician would represent in the tarot, which I'm shuffling crazy under the table here. Now, on the 24th, Mars makes his transit into Cancer, into this fifth house again. Pisces, I love this energy for you. I also like Mars moving into Cancer, which will give you creative passions, fertility. Now, for those of you not looking to get knocked up, you got to deal with that. You got to bag it up, because Mars going into the fifth is a very fertile energy. Also, it's making you very feisty and passionate and probably very physically and sexually active. Fifth house is true love. You might be determined to find someone, for those of you who aren't in relationship. For those of you who are, this is really heating up the passion in your existing relationship. I'd like to get to the cards. There's so much to talk about astrologically that there's not a lot of time for the tarot this month, but you can always book a reading with me, because I read all through the week and I'm loving doing so. So reach out to me. I'm on Facebook at Audrey, Alison, Astrology and Tarot. Also, audreyallison.com is how you can easily book your reading. Once you submit your order, I get back to you in a couple days and we set it up. The Six of Wands. This is my favorite card in the tarot, just the visual. This is the Alchemical deck by Robert M. Place that I'm using. Go with the flow of energy and not against it. It's also Mercury going direct. You see how the loving breeze is moving that boat across the water? It's working with the flow of energy and not against it. This is also travel and broadening the mind, ninth house energy. The King of Cups. Some of you have a male water sign in the works. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. This is also self-fulfillment. See how he's supplying his own water into the cup from his blowhole? He's got it covered. Finding answers within, not relying on external forces or sources, forces and sources to help you. You have everything you need already inside of you. Two of Coins. This is that second house of finance. There might be a little bit of restriction happening in the budgeting area coming out of the retrograde for you. Analyze the money. Where do you need to put it in a better place for it to earn the most? It can. And the last card, Temperance. Patience, balance, beauty, timing, moderation, everything in moderation. But also, this is leading back into this pathway to the sun. This is the card of Sagittarius, and that might apply to you as well, a Sagittarian energy. Although I'm not feeling a person, I'm feeling a message. You'll get to where you need to be. You'll get on that road. You just have to do everything to keep it in balance, and you'll be led there from the loving breeze. Thanks for joining me, Pisces. I'm wishing you a beautiful June, and I will see you soon.